Let's play a little game. It's called Guess Where in the World I'm At. I'm in Rome. You probably wouldn't know because you probably never been here before. But that don't mean you can't get here. I get on this Insta, be hooping and hollering and yelling so I can get you little niggas' attention to be great. What I'm doing today, I'm doing tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You get the money, you do better things. You get the money, you travel the world. You get money, you buy nice things. I want y'all to do better. I want y'all to be better. Because I came from nothing and now I'm something. You know what I'm saying? It hits different when you wearing these watches in another country. It hits different when you taking care of your family. It hits different when you doing other things. So hopefully this message get across and y'all be better in life. That's it.
What's good, y'all? What's the Numbers TV? It's your boy Poe Rowe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And like a video if you appreciate the content that Poe Rowe and What's the Numbers TV is out here providing. Today we back with another profile piece. This one is on Primo. In this video we're going to talk about his upbringing in Brooklyn. Then we will discuss some of the decisions that landed him in prison on a few different charges. After that, we'll discuss his re-entry into society and his decision to leave his former life behind and focus on the bag. And finally, the spotlight will be on Primo's newfound success and riches, making him one of the most talked about new faces in New York City. Primo, real name James Hillard, is from Brownsville, Brooklyn. Growing up in that part of New York City would be crazy for a young Primo, as Brownsville is the city's most violent neighborhood with the highest concentration of low-income public housing in America. It's one of the few places in Brooklyn where gentrification is nowhere in sight. Navigating through that type of environment as a child is not for the weak, and some of the things you see living there could give you PTSD for years to come.
Primo, following the direction of his mom, became a court officer after high school. But after catching a gun case while on the job, he was fired, and
eventually, Primo will become a product of his environment and fall into a street lifestyle. He will be affiliated with a Brooklyn crew called Rich Mafia that had a wave around 2012-2013, but he was also participating in street activities like carrying guns and committing robberies, which led to jail time for Primo. Rikers Island is like a rite of passage for some kids in New York City that are in the streets, but some smarten up before they end up with real time in one of the state prisons in upstate New York. Primo wouldn't be one of the lucky ones, and in 2013, he ended up with a sentence of 4 years in prison for criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree. He would go up north while in his early 20s, but it wouldn't be the last time. Because after serving his time and being released, Primo would catch another case when in March of 2019, a Crime Stopper poster will be released with Primo's picture on it, saying he was wanted for a gunpoint robbery that occurred in East New York, Brooklyn. He would be sentenced to a 1.5 to 3 for the robbery case and was back serving time in an upstate prison by February 2020. By early 2022, Primo will be released from prison once again, but this time he had a different plan on how to be successful. While in jail during his last bid, Primo did a lot of self-reflecting and realized he was just wasting valuable years of his life by living the way he was. He now wanted to be less reckless and more calculated about the way he chased the bag, and it looked like it worked. Because in early 2024, Primo started going viral on Instagram for talking big shit and having a lot of money. But on top of just having the money, he was also spending and gambling it away. One of Primo's clips on Instagram that went super viral was while he was healing from a motorcycle accident that he got into. He ended up winning tens of thousands of dollars from Detroit rapper 42 Dugg. Although he ended up losing it back to 42 Dugg the next day, the clip of him and the rapper going back and forth after their dice battle was golden. Primo, now enjoying his newfound fame, will continue to go up and talk big money stuff on Instagram as he was trying to figure out what's next. He took a bunch of trips out the country and made a few movies in the New York City strip club scene. Primo also decided, with the help of Arliss Michaels, to make a movie loosely based on his life that's set to release soon. But Primo wouldn't stop there, because soon after that, he will also decide to try his hand at rapping.
he released a bunch of freestyles and videos on Instagram and YouTube. He even got a feature from one of his favorite artists, Benny the Butcher, to appear on one of his songs with him. Primo was moving and shaking, doing his thing. Name getting bigger, buzz getting bigger. Even though a lot of people had something to say about him or had a joke to throw out about his rapping skills, Primo didn't let it stop him. He kept moving forward, kept working him and his manager, Arliss. And then in late 2024, Primo became a part of something called the Money Wars. him and another individual by the name of TV Baller started battling online on Instagram about who had more money, who was living the lifestyle more, who was getting more girls, who could go throw to the strip club and throw more ones out. And it went back and forth online, generating a bunch of views, a bunch of interest. People all over was talking about it. Outside of New York City, in New York City podcasts, in New York City, all over, if somebody had something to say about the money wars. It really went viral, right? And once the money wars came out, Primo had an even bigger spotlight on him, right? And he was loving it. You know, he was appreciating the newfound fame. Like Primo was born to, you know, run around and do what he do, it looked like. But then, you know, the love could only go but so far before some hate came. And a few weeks after the money wars, right? Because the money wars ended kind of funny between TV and Primo, Code 33. It was a little funny how the money wars ended. So then after the money wars, about a couple weeks after, Primo still talking his talk, still running around New York City. And one day, he ends up getting robbed. Now, when Primo gets robbed, they take all his jewelry, basically. He has some watches left over, and I think a bracelet or two or some earrings or something. But all the chains, all the bracelets, all the Mr. Spend that shit, you know, what he needs to the ensemble that he was, you know, he put on when Mr. Spend that shit was born and built, was gone. Now, from there, Primo will still keep pushing forward, right? Still taking trips, still getting to the bag or whatever. And he was just still trying to keep it moving, keep it pushing. More music coming out. He went to South by Southwest, did some performances, a bunch of different interviews on some decent platforms. He was just keep pushing. But then again, not too long after, like, you know, during the summer of 2025, a video comes out of Primo being chased and hands and feet being put on him, according to him using some loaded dice or whatever. Now, reports of him wearing fake jewelry, and he's saying they was just trying to rob him. It wasn't that serious. The video looked worse than it was. And, like, you know, the next day he was up talking, you know, making videos, so he was good, and shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? That's a blessing. But, you know, the damage online had been done, right? So now where we're at with Primo, once he was a budding star, he basically was like, you know, just, his trajectory was upwards, right? Since then, it kind of started coming, you know, had some bumps in the road, and like it's trending downward with all the negative stuff that's been happening. That started from the robbery. The robbery was the first thing. Then the dice game fight. Now they also talking about he's doing videos with fake money and prop money and all that. So we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We just got to see how it plays out from here and see where Primo takes it next. Because right now, it's at a funny state. He's still waiting for the movie to drop. And we just going to have to wait and see what comes next, man. But shout out to Primo. And one thing I will say, it's been entertaining. You understand? So like he says, outside of IG, he lives a real life. So it has been entertaining, the parts that we got to see. Now, will it be a success story at the end? Hopefully. We just got to wait and see how it all plays out. But I just wanted to do this profile piece. A little update on what's been going on. Mr. Spend that shit. You know, for everybody who messes with the profile pieces and rocks with the channel. This one's for y'all, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Primo. Let's see what happens next, man. Hopefully, he takes us to the next level. But on that note, I'm about to get up out of here, man. It's your boy, Paul Rowe. Shout out Batty Bills, Federal A. You understand what I'm saying? Any business, Paul Rowe, what's the numbers at yahoo.com. Reach out. We doing numbers on all three platforms, man. It's the perfect time to get some promo, man. And we got good prices right now. And also, shout out to all the members of the channel, man. But on that note, man, I'm out of here. It's your boy, Paul Rowe, what's the numbers TV. Hit the like button if you appreciate the content. Peace.